Oh yeah, back at Universal Studios Hollywood for some coaster updates mainly. But if there's something else, obviously I'll let you all know. The first attraction though, it's gonna be one of my favorites. It's this one right here, restroom ride. No boarding groups required, no waiting in line or anything. It's a walk-on today, so this is gonna be good. And before I forget, hello everyone and welcome back to another Theme Park Obsession video. My name is Dylan and thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Yeah, we're gonna be cruising around the park. Might go down to the lower lot to check up on that Hillside project and maybe Nintendo World as well. But it's gonna be a lot of roller coaster talk today because they have been putting up some new pieces. So that is the main objective. But without further ado, how about you and I dive right in? Yeah, there are a lot of people walking through City Walk, so I am bracing for impact when it comes to crowds inside the theme park. It's probably gonna be busy. It's been busy the past weekend, and this is usually what happens this time of year. This is not a taboo thing. It stays busy throughout the holiday season, and there's some weekends where, yeah, they have to close the gates because it's just packed. And upon arrival here, I didn't see any signage that said that the park was at capacity right now, so far so good. That might change though later on in the evening because they are doing Grinchmas, they are doing the fireworks show at well, it's not a fireworks show. In Hogsmeade at the castle, they do a little pyro blast at the end of the projection mapping show. Fireworks are like a little add-on, it's like the dessert. And yeah, so people might show up a little bit later. But right now, since there was no signage out front saying that the park was closed because of crowds, we should be okay. Security wasn't that bad, made it through, but they have all the gates open, so yeah, no. Dang, I forgot my shield in the car. Yeah, there's a lot of people in line for Hello Kitty, and there's also a bunch of people enjoying Grinchmas over there in the plaza. I always like when they have the props out. You can take pictures with them and everything, and I wonder how many props they have in storage. I'm sure they have like a boatload of them. I mean, you would think. Okay, I've officially made it to the lookout. Oh yeah. I love coming to this every single week to check out the progress. And they've been making some really good progress over here at the retaining wall, that massive concrete wall that they have been finishing up these past few days is looking pretty good. And I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna put a structure on top of that. I think there might be like a steel structure or another type of material for a fence, because I don't think the concrete is going any taller. And from what I could see, there's still only one support column in that section, so it's just by itself. It's a little lonely right now, but it's okay. It'll have some friends here in the next few weeks, hopefully. And then going back to the wall though, I wonder if the wall is going to stretch over here to these footings, because I don't think these are footings for track. I think this is for something totally different, and it might be for another big retaining wall. Again, this is all for sound mitigation because they want to try to keep the sound as close to me as possible. They don't want to have it bleed out into the studio towards the parking structure and the rest of the sound stages. Yeah, what we're seeing over here might be replicated on this side because, yeah, I just don't know where's the layout? What is the layout right here if this is part of the coaster? You know, because like you can kind of clearly see where it's going from here. So we're gonna bunny hop over the fire road, down into a curve, and then into this inversion, and then back into another curve, and then into this straightaway. So what's this? I don't think this is part of the coaster. I think this is just, yeah, it has to be the wall. It has to be another retaining wall. We'll find out. I give it like, I don't know, a couple months, and we'll definitely see some huge changes along this side of Timeline Road here. Still working on this section right here where there's a lot of action happening. And I wonder if there's gonna be another like theming element added to this section of the ride, because it looks like that piece over there closest to where the end of the stall is might be a theming element with maybe some queue added into it for, you know, be multi-purpose. But throughout the layout, I wonder how many other different theming elements they're going to add, and maybe this is one of them right here, because this is going to be another retaining wall. It stretches all the way over there, and we'll get a better view of it when I do the escalator. But I'm curious to see how many other buildings there might be scattered around, because that would be kind of cool if we traverse our way in and around different garages and stuff. But speaking of the layout, look at this stall. Look at how incredible this is. So we're going to be hauling some serious butt up and into the inversion. And for those that don't know what a stall is, I'll flash up a picture of a stall right now on the screen, but it's the same kind of inversion that is on Velocicoaster when it goes into its second half. But this stall is going to be insane because of how tall it is. and it looks like it kind of increases elevation a little bit before then it dives back down into the ground. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty steep decline into that next section before we go over the escalator. But that is the newest section of columns that have gone up the past couple days, and it is so tall. It's crazy. I'm also noticing some new supports beyond that stall piece as well, so as we get closer to the escalator we'll check that out. But how darn cool. This every week this coaster gets more and more exciting, and I cannot wait to see the track in this section. Like, the track already looks fantastic over there closest to the escalator, but this I am really excited to see what the profiling is like here, because then we'll get a better idea of how intense this section of the ride might be. It's also just really crazy how close the coaster gets to some of the other pieces. Like, even this section right here is really close to this column, and then I'm gonna just call this a spaghetti bowl because it's kind of shaping up to be a spaghetti bowl portion of the ride. You get really close to those columns that are just next to each other. Like, coming out of this inversion is intense. I could already tell it's going to be insane. And then you're just so close to the other pieces that are connecting to the dip that goes over here. Yeah, this is going to be wild. I wonder how many trains are going to be running on the track at one time. Here's my best guess here. So they're going to launch one through the course, as one is probably finishing this element over here, because this straightaway is going to be a block section, 1000%. So one will probably be finishing. I'm saying there's going to be two on the course right here, one just hitting the brake run, like, you know, going into the station, and then there'll be one loading. If it's like Velocicoaster, then that's probably how they'll time it. We'll get lucky. I mean, we're already pretty lucky with dual load here. That is amazing. I love dual load because it means it's super efficient, and hopefully the line will move pretty quickly. We won't have to wait too long for this amazing roller coaster. But as far as trains on the track, I think that's my best guess. Go ahead and comment down below how many do you think they're going to be running at once. Now, I'm not seeing any track or support columns being staged over here. This is usually where they lay them down. But I'm not seeing anything today. Might happen sometime this week. I am filming this on a Sunday, so I'm not expecting any work to happen overnight or anything like that. It might happen in the next couple days. But I'll obviously check back if something does pop up that's major. But let's continue the journey. Let's move over towards the escalator. I don't think I'm gonna get any shots of just the building because there really hasn't been too much change. I really wanna get a shot of the new support column. So yeah, let's head over to the escalator. Okay, made it over to the escalator. Get a really good view of these new support columns that have gone up. And remember, when they put the track up here, this will connect to that piece over there, which will go over the escalator and then into the final inversion and then into the brake run. But yeah, really exciting stuff. This is a massive piece, my goodness. I mean, it has to be because it has to go over the escalator. And I'm sure these pieces of track will not be installed during the day. They will probably do this overnight when there's nobody on the escalator. They want to be safe. And yeah, coming out of that stall is going to be so intense because, again, that's going to be the peak of it right there. An instant flip down into a little hill where another launch is probably going to be located because we're going to need some more speed to get up and over the structure. So you're not going to have any time to breathe at all. This is going to be awesome. Oh yeah, here's a slightly better view. Yeah, dip right there and then boom, right up into this element that goes over the escalator. No time to breathe. Yeah, this is going to be a good finale to the ride. They put that up pretty fast, and that's multiple pieces too. So again, huge shout out to the crew members that are able to do that quickly. And it's kind of crazy how much of an angle it's sitting at. They won't have to worry about supporting it once the track is connected to it. But yeah, right now, that's why they have those wires kind of tied to the other supports. So as they get everything set and ready to go, they don't have to worry about this thing leaning a little too much. What I really love about this new section of supports is it just continues to add to the overall scale of the attraction, especially when you're making your way downstairs to the lower lot or even going back upstairs to the upper lot. You see how large the element is going to be over the escalator, and boy oh boy, I cannot wait for the testing phase for this roller coaster. It's going to be so darn cool to watch this thing traverse the course, especially in these really unique sections of the ride, like over the escalator. Now, besides this section and then obviously the stall, I'm not noticing anything else that is new as far as recent installation. And that also goes for track as well. I don't see any new pieces of track that have gone in, and I'm still trying to look for pieces of track or support columns that are being staged, and I'm just not noticing them from these vantage points. And again, it's kind of hard just because it's really busy, so I don't want to be super obnoxious and stand in the middle of a footpath. Well, that is going to do it for today's very quick Universal Studios Hollywood update. Yeah, just covering mainly the roller coaster in today's video, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you could let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you love these videos and more from Universal or some of your other favorite theme parks, well, you should consider subscribing because I have brand new videos every single week that you won't want to miss out on. And also, be sure to follow me on X and Instagram. Those links will be down below in the description. But until the next video, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is. I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.